like to take just a couple of minutes and kind of explain briefly what we do, and then we'll talk about why this is a particularly good time to be looking to get into this business. Now, our program is a 100% turnkey opportunity, which means we provide everything that you need to get in business, and that consists primarily of 7 key services. We provide financing assistance should you need it. Then we work in site location. We identify all the available locations in the size range and in the area that you've given to us to search in. We eliminate the ones that, for one reason or another, do not meet our criteria. Maybe there's a competitor too close, or the rent is just out of line, things of that nature. As we identify a location, we negotiate the lease for you, and you're in full accord with us as we do that. You're fully aware of all the information about the location. You'll have access to a secure website where you can see at any time all the information about any location that's being considered. You'll know the population, the demographics, the household income, the traffic, if it's a shopping center, who are the other tenants in the center, everything you possibly know, where the competitors are, who they are, so that you'll know everything there is to know about that location. And as we determine that we have a location that you have interest in, and we typically will negotiate on several to see what the best terms can be for you, you will be in full tune with what the landlord is asking for rent, what we're negotiating for, if there's a counter proposal, what the counter proposal to the landlord is going to look like. So you will approve every step along the way and be in have full knowledge of how the negotiation is going. Then once we get to a place where there's a location that you feel very good about, we feel very good about, and the terms of the lease are acceptable, the rental rates, the amount of free rent, how the landlord's going to deliver the space, all of those factors, then and only then will we ask the landlord to draft a final lease. We'll review it with you, and then if you're approving of everything, then you execute the lease. Once that's done, we schedule the store setup, and we schedule your training. Now, right now, because of all the things that are going on with regards to COVID-19, we have a very exhaustive online and telephone training set of modules that we can use. And they're very, very effective. We've used them over the years before when we did classroom training. A lot of people didn't want to travel here for one reason or another, or scheduling was a problem. So years ago, we developed this online training program. And fortunately, we have it today because now with the situation out in the world, a lot of people don't want to travel. And so this is a great advantage. So we schedule that. We get you all that information, and then I walk through it with you. At the same time, our operations department schedules the store setup, and what that consists of is when the space is ready, when the landlord delivers the space, we send a crew out. They arrive on site, usually on a Sunday evening. Our setup supervisor will meet with you. He'll walk the store location, recheck all the measurements and so forth. Monday morning, the store fixtures and equipment arrive. Our crew is there. They unload everything. They start setting up the counters and the wall trim and everything else. And usually Monday afternoon, the merchandise starts arriving, and they're receiving that as well, stocking it as we go. Put up the interior signage, set up the checkout, train you once again on the cash handling and so forth. And by Friday, your store is ready to open. So it takes us 1 week once you arrive on site to 100% put your store together, and everything that you need is included in that store package. Then, of course, you have access to our supplier network. We have all the best suppliers in the party industry, and we get very preferential pricing because we do a lot of stores in the course of a year. So we buy for our stores at a price level that as an individual you would never be able to achieve. So it's a big advantage being part of our store network, having access to those suppliers and that bottom line pricing. In our stores, the merchandise on average has a gross margin of profit on the merchandise of about 60%. Some products a little bit higher, some are a little bit lower, but you can very easily achieve that 60% margin. So very, very powerful. And the average transaction in a party store is $25 to $30. So people don't come in and they don't buy a package of plates and some napkins and so forth. They put on an event. So it leads to a very large transaction. And then, of course, once you're open, you have unparalleled long-term support from our office. We assign somebody to stay in communication with you, uh, provide you with new product updates as the different seasons come online. We get all that information out to you so that you're ready for every season, holiday, special events, and of course going into fall and Christmas. Those are big times for us. Back to school with all the high schools. There's just so much going on. So that's our program from start to finish. And does anybody have any questions about that portion?
Yes.
This is Peter. I have a question.
Yes, go ahead, Peter. And then there's a young lady right behind you. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry about that. Back to the point where the inventory comes in, they help you prep the store. It's ready for opening on Friday. What type of assistance do you get from marketing to drive customers to the store for the grand opening?
Okay, we do a couple of things. In training, we talk about how to advertise your store. We provide templates of flyers, of ads, press releases. We can help you write press releases. Depending on the area you're in, in smaller communities, the local papers are very much driven to support local businesses. So there's lots of ways to go at that. And of course, we have a pretty good component of social media marketing, which is extremely powerful. I'm of an age where I'm learning all about that, but stores that do it do very, very well with it. They have a Facebook page, they have a Twitter account, they make sure they're in front of people all the time, and it's amazing if they put something up on Facebook. Something like, we just got in 100 Halloween items coming now. All the selection's good. It's amazing. People start showing up within hours to start looking at that product. When you do your grand opening, another thing that we always encourage our stores to do is do some giveaways, have some drawings, and in the course of running those, getting those drawing applications, you want to get an individual's phone number and certainly their email, so you can kind of build up an email database of customers that have actually been in your store as well. So every time you get a new product line in or new seasons coming up, you do email blasts out to that database, and you're really targeting the customers that already know who you are. It's very powerful. So yeah, we go into a lot of detail with how to promote your business.
Okay, thank you.
And ma'am, I think you had a question. I'm sorry.
This is Sally.
Yes, go ahead.
Do we need any upfront monies?
The only thing you need to get started is a $500 fully refundable deposit. And what that does is it lets us get you into finance, and finance will look at your credit profile with you, and they will know within 48 hours if you can achieve funding and what the terms of that funding might look like. We have different lenders, and depending on your credit profile, we'll put your program in front of the most appropriate lenders. So within 48 hours, you'll know what's available to you and what the terms are. And if you decide to go forward, that's great. We move into real estate and get to work. If not, if you don't like the terms or you can't secure the funding, sometimes that happens, then we just refund your deposit to you, and we part as friends. If you do go forward, that deposit goes towards the purchase price of your store, so you never lose it. And most often, Sally, we can secure 100% financing, and that can often include the working capital as well. So the short answer to your question is you may not need anything to bring to the table besides the deposit to get started.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions about the process? Okay, very good. Then I wanted to talk a little bit about, why particularly now is an interesting time to get into this business. With all the things that are going on with the COVID-19, states are starting to open up now. But unfortunately, in the course of the last 2.5 or 3 months, a lot of businesses had to close. They were forced to close because they weren't deemed essential. And a lot of those smaller businesses, unfortunately, may not survive. A lot of them have already made the decision. We see it all the time as we look at locations now, not to reopen. The advantage for you is that a lot of great retail locations are now available in shopping centers, freestanding, um, all types of markets. And number two, the landlords and property owners are extremely motivated to get new tenants into their centers. So they're making concessions unlike anything. I've been in this business. I've been in the retail business for 40 odd years, and I've been working with discount party store developers for the last 17 years. Uh, and I have never seen uh, terms and offers like we're receiving now in real estate from the brokers and the landlords that we're working with. We're seeing lower rental rates, longer free rent periods. Typically we may get 2 or 3 months of free rent, which is nice. You can get your business open and established before you have to start paying rent. We just received a lease late last week, 5 months of free rent. And we're seeing more and more of those types of programs. And the landlords are doing more to ready the space. There was a time where a landlord said, well, often you're going to have to take this space as is, or we'll paint, and you'll have to do the flooring, things of this nature. Landlords are bending over backwards to deliver what we call a vanilla shell right now, where it's ready to move in. So lots of advantages in terms of what the landlords are doing on the real estate side. And we're seeing lower interest rates from many lenders. Which is a nice thing too. They're getting some help in a lot of cases from the government, or they're getting incentives to do loans because they want the government wants to see the economy start churning again. So they're doing a lot of things to make that happen. Additionally, the if you have a 401k and you're thinking about possibly using that to fund your business or part of your business, under the CARES Act, they've lifted a lot of restrictions on how a person can use their 401k money. It used to be you had to pay a penalty if you took money out. You had so much time to pay that money back. They basically almost removed the penalty now, and you have a much longer period, I think in some cases up to 7 years, to pay yourself back without any penalty if you use the money for other things like establishing a business. So in finance, we can get into more detail about that, but again, there are a lot of advantages from the real estate side, from the finance side, to getting into business right now. Specific to the party business, what we know and what we're seeing is that right now and for the foreseeable future, I think gatherings and events that are held in places like Chuck E. Cheese or the Blow Zone or these facilities that have like zip lines and all these other things, these big party centers, people I think are going to shy away from those, and indications are from articles that I've read is that is going to be the case for a long period of time. In fact, the ground rules have changed a little bit, and even Party City in a release a couple of weeks ago said, uh, we as a country, adults, children alike, they're adapting to this new environment, and they're looking to celebrate more and more at home, which fuels business for stores like ours. People always have at-home events, but I think going forward, and it's always been a big part of our business. As I mentioned earlier, our average transaction is very, very high. But now, more and more people are going to be having those at-home events because they feel better about it. They'll gather with family and friends, have backyard parties, barbecues, birthdays. They'll bring in a bounce house or something like this for their children. Um, the landscape has totally changed with regards to that, and that's only going to fuel the growth in the party store industry. There's just no question about it. And as you may know, there's so many events throughout the year. There are 36 major holidays and events that occur, and people have birthdays every single day of the year. And then, of course, there's anniversaries, quinceañeras, weddings, uh, baby showers, graduation parties, all those types of things, and we have product for all of them. This is a 11 to 12 billion dollar industry, and it's growing every year. So there could never be a better time than right now to kind of dip your toe in the water and see if you can make this happen for you. Additionally, we've developed over the last number of months some add-on programs which you can add to your store to kind of customize it for you, and they're programs that will generate extra revenue for you. And they may not work in every store. You may not want to do them right away, but they're always available to you. And one thing that I mentioned earlier was the rentals of bounce houses, tables and chairs, outdoor games. We have a program we can purchase those items, and you can do rentals on the weekends or during the week, whatever. Um, and once you buy that product, it's yours forever, and you just rent it over and over and over again. They generate a lot of business. You can partner. If you choose not to do that, you can partner with people that do bounce houses, and you provide the party product. They provide the bounce houses. It can be a nice synergy. Another program that we developed it works so well. We have a mailbox store division, mailbox and print center, and it works so well there that we're extending it now to our party stores, and it's banner printing. You can custom print banners. You can custom print gift wrap with your own photos on it, and customers can do it in the store while they wait. It takes literally minutes. They can design the banner, they can design the gift wrap, look at the images, approve them, and then print it out while they're standing there. And the profit margins are generally about 3 to 4 times cost, and they're very affordable. And then, of course, we have a program where you can custom print balloons. Again, it's a phototype balloon on a Mylar balloon. So if you're going to have a party, a wedding, for example, you can print the bride and groom on balloons, set them up. Same thing for birthdays, anything else. Uh, and there's no shortage of different ways to create revenue for your stores. Um, Questions?
I have one.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what's the average size of your stores? Is it up to us, or is it up to you, or it depends on what's available?
Well, we start at 1,000 square feet, and we go on up from there. We go up as high as 10,000 square feet. Our average store over time is usually about, if I take all the stores in a year and average them out, usually about 2,000 to 2,500. But we do a lot of stores at 1,000 and 1,500 square feet. And what I can tell you is that every store size does very well. You just have to identify the right environment, the right location, and we've worked very hard to do that. So we look for, if say you're in a community where there's a party city or maybe two party cities, we look for
Uh-huh.
submarkets where party city can't go, but we have areas that are underserved, and there's more than enough population to support a store. So that's what we do. Interestingly enough, too, I was reading an article just yesterday. Party City, they grew faster than probably they should have over the last 4 or 5 years, and they built larger stores than they needed to. They came out last year and said they're going to revamp and build smaller stores, uh, but now since they've been closed for 3 months, their debt load is staggering. They're going to be closing stores, which again creates even more opportunity for independent operators like us to come in and capture that business.
Ah,
But
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
actually, as I say, any size store will work right work well, excuse me, in the right environment, and we work very hard to identify those.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Okay. Well, I want to thank.
No,
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, I don't have any more. I was,
Okay.
yeah, you answered everything.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time. My name is John LaFranz. I'm the general manager here. You can call me anytime. My direct line is 702-637-3389. Or if you're speaking or working with a representative in our company, of course, you can call them as well. But feel free to call me anytime at that number if you have questions. And don't forget, if you do decide to get started, you can take advantage of that $3,000 discount on your store package, as long as you get your application deposit done by next Wednesday. So again, that
Okay,
number.
could you repeat your name and your phone number, please?
Sure, sure. My name is John LaFranz, LaFronz, And actually, I'm the only John here that doesn't flush. So if you ask for John, you're going to get me. But my direct line here is 702-637-3389.
Okay, John.
Thank you so much. And again,
Thanks,
call
John.
me anytime. Thank you all for taking the time this evening. I know everybody's busy. And enjoy the rest of
So
your
the
evening. I
deposit's
look
gotta
forward
be
to having
in by,
I'm sorry?
Thank you.
hey,
All
John,
right. I look forward to
hey,
having
John,
the
the
opportunity to
deposit's
work
gotta
with
be
someone.
in.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the deposit's gotta be in by when?
By next Wednesday.
Oh, okay. Okay, no problem.
Plenty of time.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you all. Have a great evening. Take care now.
Thanks,
Okay,
John.
thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.